My name is Levi and I would like to tell you my story. So, when I was a little kid, my mom couldn't raise me, and so these folks from America came to Haiti and did this mission trip to help Haiti out. And then they came back another time and picked me up. These two strangers picked me up and thought, that's my son. And they did all the paperwork and took me back home. In first grade, I would get really nervous when we would have a drill and the alarm would go off because I didn't know there would be alarms when something would happen. I thought they would just blink over the comm. There are 4 Haiti boys named Chris, Marvin, and Gabe, and me. And sometimes when we all get together, we can have a bunch of fun, or sometimes we get in a lot of trouble together.
I am Sandra, and this is my story. So, my family came here to the United States from Mexico 20 years ago, and they decided to come here because not just they wanted a better opportunity for them, but they also wanted a better opportunity for us. But the problem was my parents weren't able to come here legally. School was sometimes hard because I had 2 languages stuck in my head, and English I had to use outside of home, and then Spanish I had to use inside of home. And then whenever I would take homework home, I didn't really have much help because where they learned their stuff is much different than here. And then we've had times when we had talks about how afraid we were about them being here legally, and what would happen to them and what would happen to us. So in November of last winter, my dad got stopped for driving without a license, and they booked him into the Wells County Jail and everything, and we went to court and we found out he was going to be deported because he's had a history of coming here and getting deported back. So after all that happened, my mom got really depressed and lost a lot of weight from not knowing where my dad was and not knowing how he was because he had to take a lot of medication. So my mom decided that she and my sister, Jennifer, who's 9, would go back with my dad down to Mexico. And then this summer in July, me and my brother, who is 15, his name is Fabian, we went down there to go see my dad again, and it was fun. But my brother decided to stay there because basically his heart was in 2 places. And throughout the whole thing, it was really hard for me because I was really stuck between either staying with my dad or coming back. And I knew that I would have a better life if I finished school here and just do what I needed to do here. I think one of the hardest parts for my family was whenever my dad was taken to a detention center. It was really hard for us not knowing where he was. So basically we had to stop everything, forget about school, forget about anything, and just, realize, try to find where he was. And it turns out he was all the way in Indianapolis. So it was kind of a relief for us whenever we found out where he was.
This is my name, Corbin, and this is my story. I came from an orphanage in China, so did my sisters and brother. I know that some orphanages, they neglect and treat children badly. All of us in our family have Nevis. Sister is in my grade, but I feel proud of her. School is hard for her. Sometimes at school I feel anxious. It makes it hard to focus. My brother Xavier has a hard time at school because he never really learned how to talk before he came here. All of us can change the world by making a difference for one child.